Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to simplify the process of training a logistic classifier. Here's what we will cover step by step. First, we will understand what the logistic trick really is. Then we will see why we move the decision line away from correctly classified points. After that, I will show you an example of how to adjust weights based on prediction and actual labels. We will also dive into how to update weights in logistic regression using log loss. And finally, we will wrap it up with an example to clearly understand the formula. So make sure you stick around till the end because everything is explained in a simple and beginner friendly way. Let's get started. Alright, let's begin with the basics. Training a logistic classifier in the simplest way possible. What's the goal here? Our goal is to train a model that can make probability predictions for binary classification tasks. In simple words, the model should be confident and give predictions close to 0 or 1, for example, predicting whether someone is happy or sad. Now let's see the step-by-step process. First, we start with a random model. You can think of it as just drawing a random line, just like we do in linear classifiers. Then we repeat this process many times in each round. We pick one data point from our data set. We apply the logistic trick, which means making a small adjustment to the line so that the model improves little by little. After every adjustment, we measure the log loss. If the log loss is still high, we keep improving. But if the log loss becomes small enough, that means our model is performing well, and then we can finally stop training. So in short, logistic regression is all about starting random, improving step by step, and checking log loss until the model learns. Now let's talk about something very important, the logistic trick. It's actually quite similar to the perceptron trick, but there's one key difference. In the perceptron trick, if the model gets a point correct, we do nothing. If the model gets it wrong, we move the line closer to that point. But in the logistic trick, if the point is wrong, we still move the line closer. But if the point is correct, we don't just leave it. Instead, we move the line slightly away. Why? Because this prevents the model from hugging the data too tightly, which is basically overfitting. So you can imagine training a logistic classifier as a process of shaping the decision boundary little by little. Wrong point, put the line closer. Right point, gently push the line away. This constant adjustment makes the model more balanced and helps it generalize better to new data. Now, a very interesting question comes up. Why do we move the line away from correctly classified points? Let's understand this step by step. Suppose we have a point that is correctly classified by our logistic classifier. That means the point is already sitting in the right zone. If its label is 1, it's in the positive zone. Let's call this the happy zone. If its label is 0, it is in the negative zone or the sad zone. So you might think, if the point is already correct, why touch it all? Here's the twist. In logistic regression, the prediction is not just about which side of the line is on, but also how far away it is from the line. For points labeled 1, the farther they move into the positive zone, the closer the prediction gets to 1. For points labeled 0, the farther they are into the negative zone, the closer the prediction gets to 0. And that's the key. By moving the line slightly away from correctly classified points, we are basically boosting the model's confidence. This reduces the error even more because now the probabilities are stronger and closer to the true labels. So in short, even if the model gets it right, we don't just stop here. We give it a gentle push to make sure the predictions are not only correct but also confident and reliable. Okay, now let's make this even more concrete with an example. Suppose we have a data set with 4 points and our classifier is defined by some weights. A is 1, B is 2, and C is -4. These values define our boundary line. We will use these weights to make predictions for each point and then see how to adjust them based on the actual label. First point, coordinates 3, 2, and its label is y is 0. But when we run it through the prediction formula, the model says 0.953. That's a very high probability towards happy, even though the point is actually sad. So this is a big error. To fix this, we need to drastically decrease the weights AB and the bias C so that the prediction goes down closer to 0. Second point, label 1, and the prediction comes out as 0.731. Now that's pretty good. The model is saying that there's about a 73% chance it's happy, and that's correct. But we can still improve it. So here we will slightly increase the weights and bias to push the prediction a little closer to 1. Third point, label y is equal to 1, but the prediction is only 0.119. That's way too low. The model is saying it's almost definitely sad, but the actual label is happy. So this is another big error. To fix this, we need to drastically increase the weights and bias so the prediction rises up towards 1. Fourth point, label y is equal to 0 and the prediction is 0.119. Now this is already a good prediction because it's low and we wanted it to be 0. But there's still some room for improvement. So here we only make a slight decrease in the weights and bias to push the prediction even lower, closer to 0. So overall, the adjustment strategy is simple. Big mistakes, big chances in weights. Small mistakes, small chances in weights. This is exactly how a logistic classifier learns step by step, becoming more accurate with every correction. Now let's get into the heart of logistic regression. How do we actually update the weights and bias using log loss? When we train a logistic regression model, the goal is simple. Make the predictions more accurate after each step. To do that, we adjust the weights A, B, and the bias C using a smart update strategy. Let's break this into 3 key observations. Observation 1. Use the error. We look at y minus y hat, which is the actual label minus the predicted probability. If the prediction is close to the true label, y minus y hat is small, so we only make a small adjustment. If the prediction is way off, y minus y hat is large, so we make a bigger correction. This makes sense, right? The worse the mistake, the stronger the fix. Observation 2. Give importance to impactful features. Not all features contribute equally. For example, if a word or feature has a large value in our data point, it should have a bigger impact on the update. That's why we multiply the error by the feature value like x1 or x2. So the model pays more attention to features that actually matter more. Observation 3, keep updates small with a learning rate. Finally, we don't want to overcorrect, so we multiply everything by a small number h called the learning rate. This keeps our updates gentle and controlled instead of jumping all over the place. Putting it all together, we now have the formulas to update the model. A dash equals to A plus h, y minus y hat x1, B dash is equal to B plus h, y minus y hat x2, C dash is equal to C plus h, y minus y hat. So in simple words, take the current weights, add a correction based on how wrong the prediction was, how strong the feature is, and the small learning rate. This is exactly how the model learns step by step, gradually adjusting until predictions are as close as possible to the actual labels. Alright, let's bring everything together with a practical example. Imagine we are building a spam filter for emails. Our features are simple. X1 is the number of times the word free appears, X2 the number of times the word meeting appears. The label Y is 1 if it's spam, 0 if it's not spam. Now let's take one email. The model predicts Y hat is equal to 0.8. So it thinks there is an 80% chance this is a spam. The actual label is Y is equal to 1. And yes, it really was a spam. We will also set the learning rate 0.1. And for this email, X1 is 5. The word free appears 5 times. X2 is 1. The word meetings appears once. Now let's update the weights step by step. For weight A, linked to free, A dash is equal to A plus 0.1. So the weight for free increases by 0.1. For weight B, B dash is equal to B plus 0.2. So the weight for meeting increases by only 0.02. For the bias C, C dash is equal to C plus 0.02. The bias increases slightly by 0.02. Notice how update reflects reality. The word free appeared 5 times, so it got a bigger weight adjustment. The word meeting appeared only once, so its weight adjustment was much smaller. The prediction error 1 minus 0.8 guided how strong the updates were. And finally, multiplying everything by the learning rate 0.1 kept the changes small and controlled. This way, the model learns to pay more attention to words like free, which are strong indicators of spam, while still making gentle improvements overall. And that's it for today's session on training a logistic classifier. We started from the basics, learned about the logistic trick, understood why we adjust the line even for correct points, walked through examples, and finally saw how the formulas actually update weights in practice. I hope this video made logistic regression feel a lot simpler and easier to understand. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and of course, subscribe to the channel for more easy explanations of machine learning concepts. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Till then, keep learning and keep growing. Bye-bye.